Uh-oh, left my mic on all weekend. Hopefully the battery didn't die. Rick, these are 14-inch new beats, 14-inch Nicky Moon Old Worlds. I would say they're kind of medium-ish, not super thin, but 14s. These are 14s with a Creative Percussion little stacker thing I just found and put on top. It's like a hand clap. That's the vibe. I thought I was organized, but I wasn't. So many things I want to try to do. I forgot to get everything together, so bear with me. Swap my kit out. This is, 1 second, there we go. Now I can see everything. This is a Bucks County Relic Series mahogany poplar with a distressed ash exterior veneer on the outside here. So it's got some like road rash and stuff pre-aged from Chris. Took it out to the parking lot and scratched it up with brass hoops that the chrome had been removed. Same thing with the lugs. The chrome had been removed, so it's just the raw brass. 13, 16, 22. This is still the Jatoba snare that I've been using for the past couple weeks, which just sounds cool with this kit. I just swapped the batter head on the bass drum, single ply coated. Everything else that's a Drum Factory Direct prototype, single ply coated, sort of like a G1. Evans G12 coated on the toms, clear G1s on the bottom, calf tone on the front of the bass drum. I'm kind of getting back into single ply coated bass drum heads. They sound kind of weird when you first put them on. You can hear through the lavalier. There's a lot of high tone that would be at first maybe not your ideal sound, but it definitely works well in the context of the kit, and it records really well. Jeff Porcaro always used a single ply coated, Jim Keltner, and pretty much everyone in the 60s and 70s. Shannon Forrest. So it worked for them, it should work for me. Eric Valentine is a huge proponent of single ply coated bass drum heads for allowing the drum to just do what it naturally does. When you start having muffling rings and things, kind of scoop some of the mids, which ends up being where all the character of the drum is. So I'm trying that with this kit. It had a 2-ply EQ3, I think, or yeah, EQ3, which is the 2-ply. I mean, it didn't have enough character for me. I like the punch of it. I wanted this kit to be the kit that makes me never have to use vintage drums again. That was my request to Chris. It's like I need something that'll have me never pulling out my old Ludwig kits for sessions and stuff anymore. So give me that, and this is kind of it. So I'll let you hear them again. Hang on, I just realized the overhead's not on. Then it's phantom power engaged. Should sound much better now. tuned absolutely as low as they can go. I just retuned them yesterday when I was, or whenever that was, Friday when I was swapping the drums out. Saturday. Bottom head as low as it can go above wrinkling. And then I just got the batter head as close to that as possible. So these are pretty much as low as they can go and still have a sizable sustain. Bass drum, same thing, maybe just a little bit higher than above wrinkles. With a couple gels, one big gel on the floor tom, one small gel, and then one medium-sized gel on the rack tom. I did have to tune the rack tom up a little bit higher because it was only, when I had it tuned as low as it can go, it was literally a major second higher than the floor tom, so they kind of sounded almost the same. So I brought the bottom head up a bit to give me the interval of the fifth that I wanted, fifth or fourth. Big and beefy tones here in this small space for the next foreseeable future. A couple other things. I've been listening to a lot of Afrobeat music, which is why I wrote this little loop. But that's a conversation for a later day, because what I wanted to do today was go through my process of figuring out what to play on a track if I'm being hired to do so. And I'm going to be using Jim Riley's Survival Guide for the Modern Drummer tracks. Incredible book, highly recommended. It's one of the best out there for like realistic play-along material, plus a lot of really great information inside. I want to just kind of like work through his play-alongs. There's, goodness, 124 tracks. The first one is called Slow Moody Rock. I'm just going to play it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And figure out what I should do over top of it. I'm also going to let everyone know online that we are live so they can join us. So just listening. It's a cool loop. So I'm not sure how much I want to cover that up. All right, now listening for what gets added. It's kind of the same pattern, but they just added another guitar. Okay, so the dynamics are coming up a little bit. Big build, chorus, you can call that the chorus. So definitely going to come up here. Back to the original thing, but now there's tambourines, so the intensity's up a bit. Oop, and it dropped down again. 16th notes now. All right. Sounds like a build back to the chorus. All right, obviously it's a pretty simple song because it's the first track in Jim's book, but that doesn't mean it can't be interesting. Slow. I'm probably gonna cycle. Oh, bridge. So something's got to change there, right? Tambourine changed. Kind of a typical bridge with some extra tension, movement. Hold, and then breakdown. Maybe drums are out, it's back to the loop. Bass comes in, but they're playing a high, so it's not like a, build. All right, you're back to the chorus. It's probably gonna just keep going. Yep. Adding more guitar stuff, melodic stuff. Chances are it's going to end. Yep. There. All right. So this happens with me every time I listen to a song that I'm going to do a session with. The first time through, I'm just listening to get the overall, like what's expected, where's this thing going to go. To get a vibe for what the sound should be, which is part of the reason why I put this bigger kit in here. I just need that kind of sound, a more modern country / rock kind of sound. Second time through, I actually do all the mapping and really listening, like when are things in and out. So a pet peeve of mine, I'll say it now, is I hate hearing and seeing people practice over recorded music, using recorded music as a glorified metronome. I really don't like that. I don't condone it. I think it reinforces not listening to the music. It reinforces a certain bad habit of playing through, kind of obliterating what's on the track in a bad way. It's not using your ears to hear what's actually happening, what's actually required, what's actually needed. I would rather play to a loop. It doesn't go anywhere. So then that's where I can practice and I can develop ideas, because that thing just cycles. But if this was a whole song that had a beginning, a middle, and an end with all these stops and hits and stuff, and I was just practicing over it, it's just reinforcing like bad listening skills. So that's my soapbox. Do not practice to songs. Play the songs, but with the mindset of you're actually trying to be the drummer in the song. Versus let me work on my 6-stroke roll and I'll play over a bunch of Beatles songs. That's terrible. It's going to just translate to not knowing how to play with people, not knowing when not to play, what to play. It's just not a good habit, in my opinion. So, second time through, I'm going to actually listen deeply to try to determine, what I should play and when I should start and stop. So the beginning. Intro, I guess. There's a whole lot of eighth notes going on. Question is, do I play anything? Because that loop is kind of cool. If I just start playing over top of it, it's going to obliterate that loop. So if we want the loop to exist on its own for a bit, I think probably that's a conversation I would have with the songwriter or artist ahead of time, but I haven't talked to Jim about this track, so I'm just gonna guess that no drums in the beginning. Let it establish on its own. Maybe. So it's like a 4-bar phrase. So 4, and it's like just a repeat. Chord change. Oh, there's a stop there. Now, this what I would call the verse. So probably something I should maybe enter in some way, maybe just hi-hat and kick. Something we have to mess around with. And now there's another. So what I didn't do because I was talking was count that first verse. Is it 4 or is it 8? And this is verse 1. It might come in with just hi-hat. Just something simple. Let the loop and the percussion carry it. So that was 4. So they're basically 8-bar phrases. No stop now, what do I do here? Here that other guitar comes in, chunking, so maybe add a groove. Maybe add the snare, or maybe rim clicks. All right, that's 4 plus. Now it builds. So it's 4 plus 4 with a build. Chorus, full groove. Still, everybody just playing 8th notes, so I wouldn't want to go to 16ths yet. Maybe just open hi-hat. Just something simple, because this is all about adding layers, this whole song. There's an ending, so it's 7 plus a stop. So we're back to a verse, kind of full vibes, and maybe I'll just closed hat with the snare for this 3rd verse. Oop. Aha. Listen to that. So I'm not going to call that a verse. I'm going to call that a re-intro. This is the end of the chorus. Stop. So I would just play a full groove. Hat groove. And it's just 4. And then listen. Back down. But now there's 16ths happening in the shaker and the guitar. So I want to do 16ths on the hat maybe to complement that. We'll try that. Maybe some extra snare notes. And that's 4 plus 4 again with a build. Yep. Back to the chorus. I want to keep it the same with the open hi-hat. So that's another 4 plus 4. With another kind of space for a fill there. Now we're at the bridge. Sounds to me like I should go to the ride. 5, 6, 7. Is it going to stop? Yep. Little hold there. Now it's a breakdown. I would let we'll let the loop go, tacit 2, add hat, kick 2, and then build. Let's make sure that count is correct. 2, 3, break down, tacit. When the bass comes in, maybe add the kick and the hi-hat. That's just 1, and then a build for 1. Now we're back to the chorus. Nice. Again, it's a pretty simple structure, but there's some detail there that you gotta be mindful of. When to stop, when to fill, when to play 16ths, when to just play 8ths. In the chorus, there's like a hit on 4 that maybe just only I would accent in the last chorus. To build after the breakdown. Listen to the guitar hits. Not that one, even though it was sort of there. It'd be in this one. Catch that. +4, and then just keep going. So 4 + 4 + 3 with a stop. Now look at this. This is how chicken scratch my charts are, if you can see that with the light. I just do intro 4 + 4, verse, hat, kick, 4 + 4, verse 2, 4 + 4 with a build, chorus, open hat, 7 plus a whole note, intro, hat groove, 4, verse 3, 16ths, 4 + 4 with a build, chorus, open, 4 + 4 with a build, bridge, ride, 4 + 4 with a whole note, breakdown, tacit 2, add, kick, hat 1, build 1, chorus, open hat 4 times, hit the beat 4 on the 4th bar. Do that twice, and then end on the 3rd repeat. So it's 3 plus a whole note. That's how I chart. You can't really see it, but almost every chart I do for gigs and sessions is as simple as this. I only write what needs to be written, so I'm not buried in the chart. So now I'm just going to try playing it and see if I got all the right notes here. And I'm going to play as simply as possible and let the music tell me if I should do more or less. So my fills are going to be minimal, if at all. I'm basically just trying to establish the groove first time through.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, for our first take, I think we got a basic drum track that we can work from. And then it's a matter of like, do we need more fills? Do we need less fills? There's no vocals. I don't know what will be happening vocally, but usually that's something I listen to is what's the singing. But that's a totally serviceable, gets the job done, play the drums, play the song, hit the arrangement, make the dynamics work. Like maybe in the beginning it should progress a little bit more, a little sooner. I'm not sure. Again, I think that's a conversation I would have with the writer because there are literally 24 bars up front before that first chorus and 8 bars with no drums in the intro. Like that would probably get edited down to 4-bar intro in the final production. But I tried to only play fills that I felt elevated in transition to the next section. I tried to limit chattery stuff on the snare drum to just what I felt was needed once we switched into that 16th note feel for those 8 bars. I did end up hitting that accent in the chorus every 4 bars. The first 2 times it just felt like it needed it, and then in the last chorus I've kind of filled into those hits to give it a little bit more emphasis, a little more drama. I went to the ride for the last repeat of the chorus just to kind of send it off into the sunset. But yeah, I think that would work. Like I would deliver that as like, here's a basic take. Sounds are cool, parts are cool. Where do we take it from here? Simplify it more, add more, try different ideas. Like maybe the bridge should go to the floor tom instead of the ride cymbal. That's an option. Maybe the chorus goes to the ride cymbal and then the bridge goes to the floor tom. Heck, let's try that. So I'll do another take. This would be like an alternate take where now the chorus is on the ride and the bridge goes to the floor tom. See what it sounds like.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So I don't know if it's better or worse, but it's just different options. So I'd usually do 2 or 3 different kind of interpretations like that. In that case, I didn't hit those big 4s in the last chorus. Just to kind of give an option of just playing a fill through it. Going to the bridge on the floor tom, maybe not my favorite choice, but it is a choice. The chorus on the ride cymbal, I kind of like the chorus on the open hi-hat personally. So that would be another option. I could do the chorus on the open hi-hat and the bridge still on the floor tom, maybe save the ride cymbal for the final chorus. All these little decisions without having to play a bunch of stuff. Like I'm still honoring the arrangement, not playing subdivisions that aren't required. There's so many eighth notes going on with shaker and the loop that playing too many 16th notes, I think kind of gets in the way of that. What's up, Wade? North Carolina. Haven't been there in a long time. Thanks for tuning in. Last time I was in North Carolina, where did I play? Cat's Cradle, and then somewhere in Asheville, but that was 7 years ago. It's been a while. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to do the track again. I think 2 is enough, and then it would be what is, the feedback from whoever has hired me to do it or my bandmates or whatever. Maybe that last chorus, they'd be, hey, can you go a little bit crazy with some 16th note triplets or something? But I'm not going to impose that right away. I'll do 1 to 3 takes, serving the song as simply and solidly and dynamically as possible, and then let the feedback be give me more, give me less, versus starting out playing so many notes. From experience I've learned, always simpler than you think is what the producer, songwriter, artist will want, unless it's your own band. So I'm always removing stuff rather than adding stuff. Most of the time, there's a couple artists that just want me to go ballistic on certain songs, but in general, if I'm playing songs, I'm actually editing and removing stuff. Like I might not even play the hi-hat because that loop is so distinctive. Maybe I would just play time on my leg, so the loop can kind of carry the weight. So that's just, I don't even know if that loop would be in the final mix or not. So those are all things I would have a discussion with. But that's my 2 takes on this song. I would probably do 1 more, maybe doing that variation I was saying with open hi-hat in the chorus, the first 2 choruses, floor tom ride on the bridge, chorus crashy ride on the final 3, chorus repeats. Just to have 3 versions of the same basic approach. Then it can be chopped up if it works, or I can get direction of what else to try. So that is Slow Moody Rock from Jim Riley's Survival Guide for a Modern Drummer. If you don't have it, I highly, highly recommend it. And what else can I do? If you have any questions, those of you who are here, hit me up. Now's the time. Got about 10 more minutes. Otherwise, I'm going to play along with this Afrobeat loop. I'm trying to figure out what tempo it wants to live at. There's 90. the stack is this Creative Percussion Mini Hex stack. Let's go to this guy. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of tempered stainless steel that Kevin over at Creative Percussion makes these. And it's not included, but he also sells this really cool mini clutch adapter that can be put on a high-end stand. He also has a little adapter you could put on like a tension rod, so you could put it like right here, which is pretty slick for like that kind of stuff. And there's a bigger one too. This is the mini one. I have a bigger one over there that's a little more aggressive, a little more hand clappy. This I think sounds more like a rattle. It also adds like some kind of shaker sound to your chicks. So that's 90, it's kind of cool, kind of slinky. 100. That's 100. Kind of works in any of these tempos. too fast. 100, let's go 96. All right, anyway, more on that in the future. I want to try to keep writing different Afrobeat bass lines and stuff to jam along to. But for now, I just wanted to share my approach to getting a basic track down when I'm recording. And then I'm going to go through another track maybe tomorrow. Do the same thing. So thank you for tuning in. Hit me up with any questions, comments. If you want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon page, patreon.com/MikeDawsonDrums, where you can join that community over there. A little donation, get you some practice loops and stuff. And other than that, have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.